I'm Jervette Ward, Chair of the Black Studies Department at the City College of New York, and I invite you to join us February 13th and 14th for our annual Langston Hughes Festival. This year's festival is uniquely exciting and special, as we also will celebrate the reestablishment of the Black Studies Department at CCNY and the 100th anniversary of the Harlem Renaissance with a fundraising breakfast in honor of Hughes and Black Studies. All right, so what does the Black Studies Department mean for the City College of New York community?
I think that Black Studies as a whole, I think that education is a path to liberation. And so I think that Black Studies as a whole offers a glimpse into a perspective that has historically been excluded from mainstream conversation.
Very few houses do not have mirrors. And I think about what it means that we haven't had a mirror into Harlem, and that is effectively what a Black Studies Department is. It is a way to better understand. It's a place to study. It's a place for students to see themselves. And every house usually has a mirror.
Okay, so I think Black Studies is essential right now. I mean, really essential to point all of that out, show how far we've come, and get some more pride in self back. Okay, because if you have pride in self, then you can have pride in your people. Because it has to start with you.
And when I started studying the story of these people on my hoodie, I don't know if you're paying the camera down, but I started studying the story firsthand. It absolutely blew my mind, absolutely changed my life.
Students were studying in Harlem for so many years and in a space that was really incredibly Black, but in an institution that was not very Black at all. And so back in 1969, you had a group of Black and Puerto Rican students who bonded together and demanded that their institution do better. Those students held their institution hostage, in essence, and that moment has been labeled the takeover.
It's imperative that we have an active Black Studies department, not only in CCNY, but within the community, to make sure that we teach that history, to make sure that we teach generations the history and how prevalent and how important it is to be Black, to value higher education and everything of the sort.
This year, 2025, is incredibly special. We are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Harlem Renaissance, 1925-2025. So what does the 100th year of the Harlem Renaissance, this celebration, mean to you?
To me, it just signals a time of obviously celebration, but also a refocusing on what it means for me to be Black in America.
The Harlem Renaissance is a little bit more than 2 generations from enslavement. Here we are, a little bit more than 2 generations, and we have Black people have the audacity to be great writers, visual artists. Then you have the musicians coming in, which is expressing, the way they feel through music. Audacity. It's like Black people have the audacity to persevere. They have the audacity to say, you know what? I'm never going to be defeated.
For me, it means freedom. It very much means this idea of Black people being able to be unapologetically themselves, to be able to exist in all of their beautiful Blackness, whatever that means. And it really does mean freedom. It was freedom of bodily expression in dance. It was freedom of expression in music. It was a freedom of expression in painting and sculpting. A freedom to be however a Black person wanted to be.
I think it means that we are here and we have always been here and we will forever be here. I do think that it's important to celebrate centennials, especially like big years like 100 and 50, but also I feel like 99 is just as important as 100 and 47 is just as important as 100, because Black voices deserve to be celebrated every day of every week, every minute, every moment.
100 years of prosperity for Black Mecca that has defied the odds in generation after generation, that has also withstood and has fought against. And any New Yorker knows, right, that you could go to Harlem, and whether this is the 1920s, the 1990s, so much history and culture has seen or has been created in that space, generation after generation.
So you said that Langston is your guy.
Oh, what a man.
Your guy. So what does Langston Hughes mean to you? I know you must have a line or two from a poem, an essay, or something. What does Langston mean to you?
Langston Hughes is synonymous with Harlem and is synonymous with Black life. But when you read Langston Hughes, whether it's those autobiographies he wrote or his poetry, it just makes me feel good to be a Black person. I mean, I feel good being Black.
It's a reinforcing that I am worthy and that my voice is worthy. It really it touches me deep in my soul when Black writers write about how difficult it is to be Black, and they write about, but also they celebrate themselves, like joy as liberation, and like celebrating our voices as liberation, you know, like, cause like we only have ourselves.
Hughes was of the community. He stressed the importance of passing down through the community. And I think about Danica and Gay in conversation with each other, the same way that I think about Langston Hughes. And one of his later works was putting on artists on the African continent for the world to see. And so all of that, that spirit of togetherness, that spirit of collaboration, that embodies the Harlem Renaissance, that embodies the history, embodies the spirit, embodies one of the beautiful things about Harlem, and that is open to the community for folks to be a part of.
I'm following in the legacy of these things that were obviously ingrained in me, because, you know, where I come from, I wasn't rocking with Langston Hughes, right? I'm rocking with Grandmaster Flash, right? But we were all disciples of his, right? In my opinion, in my scholarly opinion, hip hop is an extension of the civil rights movement, because while our parents were singing "We Shall Overcome" and marching and protesting, they were carrying us in their bellies and carrying us in their, and on their shoulders, and we were being, right?
I think of what he's saying, and I think of him, and I feel this sort of like grandfather-esque connection. I just think of him as somebody who loves, somebody who wants to, he yearns for the freedom of us. And I see that in his work, I feel that in his work, and I feel the love that I would say only a grandfather, only a relative could impart to their children.
To the last question that I have for you. So this year's festival, we are honoring Dr. Roxane Gay, New York Times bestselling author. You can see her there behind you. And she will be in conversation with the 2011 Langston Hughes Festival winner, Dr. Edwidge Danticott, as well, and they're both of Haitian descent. So this year's festival will have a whole celebration of Haitian food and music and everything. But with all of those amazing events that are projected back there behind you, what are you most excited about with this year's festival?
Ooh, there's a lot that I'm excited about. Can we mention this? I think
you can mention what.
Okay, yeah. So I am working alongside a couple of some other like student peers, not student peers, but some of my other like really good friends and students of mine to spearhead a part of the student symposium for the Langston Hughes Festival. And I'm really excited to present our project that is working to do a deep dive on not only what is love, but what does love mean in the context of activism? What does love mean in the context of Langston Hughes and Roxane Gay? What's that connection that we can make there?
I would be interested in a symposium.
The symposium. Why?
Because the symposium, if I remember the definition of that word, that's like a discussion of ideas. Yeah, I have some ideas.
I never would have guessed.
Definitely Black love.
Okay.
I think that it is important, fitting, the timing, and love that that's there. I love the idea of the student symposium. I think about Hughes. I think about his opening words for a theme for English B, right? The instructor said, go home and write a page tonight and let that page come out of you. Then it will be true. I wonder if it'll be that simple. And then he goes on to talk about here, this college on the hill overlooking Harlem at City College. And I think that is why it makes the student symposium so fitting, because at heart, Langston Hughes was a student of literature and also a teacher of it. And so seeing what that next generation is going to bring, that is something I look forward to.
Because the dates of the Langston Hughes Festival this year fall on February 13th and 14th, we know that February 14th, of course, is Valentine's Day. But a lot of people don't know that February 13th is actually National Black Love Day. And so because of that, we said we have to celebrate Black love because all of these things that we're talking about here are really about love, the love of Black people that we have for ourselves, of loving our food, loving our culture, loving our history, loving our music, loving our art, loving each other, protecting each other with love. And so we said, let's celebrate love, Black love, love of scholarly love, which I think Langston Hughes did so well on the page. And so Langston, I think, gives us a great way to do this, because in one of his essays, he writes that he first fell in love in Harlem. This is an opportunity for us to talk about Langston Hughes, love, Harlem, all together, the city, college, and the college on the hill, all in one. It was just this beautiful package, this beautiful moment, and we're really hoping and excited about people joining with us for these moments that mean, I know, so much to me as the chair of Black Studies, to have this opportunity to lead it, but also as a scholar of the Harlem Renaissance. So please join us February 13th and 14th, 2025 for the 46th Annual Langston Hughes Festival at the City College of New York.